This is day 5 of week 10 of 52 weeks of vlogging, and it's time for another book review! It's another double book review. We are talking about Shatter Me and Unravel Me by Tahereh and Mafi. And my covers don't match, but that's actually a good thing. You'll find out why at the end of the review. I'm going to start with Shatter Me. It's the first one in the series, and it absolutely blew me away. This is a book that had so much buzz, and I anticipated, and it did not let me down. Thank God. You have no idea how many books with buzz let me down. Side note, too much buzz can actually be a bad thing for a book, because when the book doesn't live up to its buzz, it's just disappointing. This is a book I grabbed as soon as it came out, and when it came out, I literally devoured it in one sitting. It was one of those things where, like, I sat down and I thought, yeah, I'll read a couple pages before bed, and then before I knew it, it was 5:30 in the morning, and I really had to pee because I hadn't gotten up in 6 hours. And for good reason. This book does a lot of things that are really neat and different. It's about a girl named Juliet who is in prison, and we open in her prison cell. Chapter 1. I've been locked up for 264 days. I have nothing but a small notebook and a broken pen and the numbers in my head to keep me company. 1 window, 4 walls, 144 square feet of space, 26 letters in an alphabet I haven't spoken in 264 days of isolation. 6,336 hours since I've touched another human being. You're getting a cellmate roommate, they said to me. I love the way this book opens. Lesson to writers out there. Make sure that that opening tells you lots and lots and lots about the main character. And it does. It tells us she's locked up for some inexplicable reason. We know she seems like a really nice person. We know she's got a kind of an obsession with numbers, which is no surprise because she's been in isolation for 264 days, which means she's probably going a little bit crazy if she wasn't going a little bit crazy already. These kinds of the beginnings are the beginnings that attach me to the main character from the very start. The other thing this book does that I really love is use crossouts. In other words, it's written from the first person, but the narrator censors herself throughout the book. Like in that last sentence where I said you're getting a cellmate roommate. Cellmate in the book is crossed out, and roommate is put there in its place. And what I love is that it gives us an in to her deeper thoughts and emotions. It lets us know the things that she's thinking and feeling that she doesn't even want to admit she's thinking and feeling, so she crosses them out. We all do this, and characters always do this, but I've never seen it approached in a novel in quite this way before, and I really love it. The other thing I loved about Shatter Me was the character arc. Juliet goes from being full of self-denial and self-loathing and self-hatred, but it's not in an obnoxious emo way. It's more of a likable, I can really relate to you, I really hope things get better for you kind of way. But by the end of the book, she's censoring herself less. She's using her gift or curse, whatever you choose to think of it as, for good things, and she's starting to figure out that her life does have meaning and that she does have a place in this world. Also, there's an awesome twist at the end, and I'm not going to give it away, but I am going to say that it does involve a purple bodysuit, and I want one. Also, Shatter Me has a really fantastically written and also rather intriguing villain in the shape of Warner, who wants Juliet as badly as Juliet wants to get away from him. There's also a love interest with a complication, but not the complication that you think it's going to be. And there is mystery and intrigue and fight scenes and daring escapes, and it's fantastic. Moving swiftly on to Unravel Me, in which Juliet finds herself once again full of self-doubt and self-loathing and a little bit emo. Now, I have to say that at the beginning that kind of turned me off. I was kind of like, wait, she was just finding herself. Can we not just continue that arc? Why is she back at square one again? She's way too emo for my taste right now. But a few chapters in, I realized it was actually working. It made sense for Juliet to be in that place. And wow, do things start getting complicated for the Juliet and Adam love interest thing. And I don't want to say any more about that because I don't want to spoil the book. We see the return of fantastic side characters like Kenji, whom I just adore. Seriously, guys, I want to move in with Kenji. Just keep him around. He would make breakfast so much more interesting. And every other meal, for that matter. We also get a lot more background on Warner, which I love because it brings a lot more depth to his character, but which I also kind of hate, but in a good way because it makes him a little bit more likable, which I like to hate my bad guys, you know? Like, I like to just, like, want to string them up by their toenails and flog them, and Warner is just not that kind of a bad guy, and that's actually a good thing. Shatter Me and Unravel Me have made me grow as a reader. They've exposed me to new ways of having stories told and telling stories, and they've also pushed my limits in terms of what I find acceptable and comfortable in terms of character development, and I love both of these books for that, and also just for being full of awesome. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but this book has that nice signed by author sticker because the author signed it. I had the great pleasure of meeting Tahereh in person. She came to a bookstore near me, and she is lovely. She is sweet and kind and thoughtful and funny, and she answered all of our questions. And it was such a pleasure and a delight to meet her and tell her how much I enjoyed her book. I got her to sign my copy, but also this copy, which I am giving away to you. One lucky commenter here or commenter in my blog, which has a link down in the description, is going to win a copy of this book. Pass the word around because it's fantastic. Trust me, you want this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.